All right, just moments ago, we spoke with Stephen Wells, the congressional candidate for NY22. Who's on Juan Andrew? What do we have?
Ms. Claudia Tenney.
Oh, Assemblywoman Claudia Tenney is on the line right now in response. Good morning, Assemblywoman. Thanks for coming on.
Good morning. Thank you.
So, in fairness, we spoke with Stephen Wells, and to give you the opportunity at equal time, you want to respond to what he had to say?
Sure. I'm not in Albany. I'm not, as you know, I'm not handling the whole debate situation because I'm in Albany. And Hannah from my office, Hannah with an H, has been working with them, and we are trying to schedule debate times. Obviously, I've got a workaround session.
Could I interrupt?
Here and back and forth, and a number of other things. And there's always some issues. We want to be sure that when we have the debate, we know who exactly the candidates are going to be. So we're not totally sure what that outcome is going to be until maybe later this week.
Can I interrupt here? I just find it so funny that your press person's name is Hannah. Isn't that the funniest?
Well, I hired her right last year. Hannah with an H. Everyone always thinks, I said, well, Hannah and I are going here or there, and they're like, Hannah.
That is funny.
Yeah,
anyway, okay, so you are committing. You're saying, yes, you're going to debate.
Absolutely. I'd love to debate. He knows that. That's a disingenuous comment to say that I won't debate. We've been trying to work it out with all the different groups that want to debate. Remember, there's probably between your radio station, a number of other radio stations throughout the entire district. There's the Binghamton area. There's Central New York. WSYR wants to debate. There's everybody wants to do a debate, and so it's just a scheduling issue. And I have to work around session. Both of my opponents are not working right now, other than one took a leave of absence and one has a business that he's running.
So you you say both of. First of all, we were the first to request.
Yes, I'm not. Yes, you were the first, and you know how much I want to debate.
Yes, and
I even said I don't mind if you're there either. Remember that?
I do remember that, and I listen. I'll be here, but I'm not going to be asking questions or interrupting or anything like that. I just
I have an advantage. I have the Bill Keeler School of Debate behind me. I've already passed that.
We'd call that training like to a hyper level. Okay, so I want to ask about. You said you have two other opponents. Maybe George Phillips. George Phillips might not. I mean, there's currently. Are you involved in that? And obviously petitions. Listen, if you can't get your petitions straight, you don't belong in the race. And we've seen two go away. And possibly, what do we know about George Phillips?
Well, I don't know. There's a court proceeding about whether or not he's actually going to be making the ballot, and I think that's going to be this week sometime. So I'm not aware of the details. I'm not personally involved with it, but I think I've gotten the updates, and apparently there was a court proceeding last week, and so this week I've just, quite honestly, I'm in Albany right now. We're heading up to session and in a few minutes, and dealing with that, but I don't really know, but we'll know later this week. So the whole issue of doing a debate, if somebody's not going to be on the ballot, if George is on the ballot, then we'll have a three-way debate. If he's not, I think it's not in everyone's interest to have a debate. I think Steve and I need to debate directly. I cannot believe Steve would come on the air and bold-faced lie and say that I've never had a bill passed. I've had over 60 pieces of legislation passed as a state assemblyman in a very short period of time. I have more bills passed, I believe, than any other person from my class of 2011 when we first started. He says I don't show up to work. Look, I missed 4% of the session days in 6 years. I've had two major life-changing issues come up. I've taken care of my mother for the past 12 years across the street. She died in 2015 after serious illness, and I left session to come back and be with her when she died. And I attended her funeral, and I attended my son's graduation from the Naval Academy. So those are life-changing events and things that I'm not going to miss, especially when in Albany, as many people don't know, they should, we pass thousands of bills. In some years, we do almost 2,000 bills. Almost none of those, maybe 100 of them might become law, and of those 100, maybe 30 are substantive, and the rest are really non-substantive bills. They're one-house bills that don't have a Senate sponsor, which means they're not going to get passed into law. And also, many of these have been voted on for decades in the Assembly. They're just bills that keep us busy until the big stuff comes out. And so, that's kind of inside baseball, but it's one of those things that they like to talk about is all this. But that's one of the reasons I want to reduce the Albany session in half and cut legislators' pay in half. We waste time coming down, voting on one House bills just to satisfy some politician who wants to say they got something passed in the Assembly.
Yeah.
And so, that's one of the reasons that it's easy to cherry pick things. And for the record, I've never voted for a tax increase in my 6 years in the State Assembly. And I don't know why Ray Halberter keeps drumming that out, but I did not.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I want to ask you, and just a couple of tough questions. When you went against Richard Hanna, it was kind of like the shoe's on the other foot now. He didn't want to debate. He said he was busy. There were complications, and you called him out on it the same way, really, that Stephen Wells is calling you out on it. But you did a poll a few weeks back, and that poll showed you way ahead. As a matter of fact, shows Stephen Wells in third place behind George Phillips. So isn't it politically, in terms of a campaign, wouldn't most campaign chair people and strategists say, don't debate him? There's no reason to debate him. You're ahead. You're only going to fire up his campaign. The shoe is on the other foot here. How do you respond to that?
Well, I've responded to it here, and we also talked about it last time I was on the show. I'm not like every other campaign. I've always thought debate was good. I think that's where I shine. I think I'll do really well against Steve Wells. I don't think, just listening to him on your show, I just happened to find out that he was on. He didn't tell you anything except for I was a prosecutor. He didn't tell you about how, why didn't you ask him why you're a top 10 donor to Andrew Cuomo and you have millions in state contracts? That's exactly what's going on in Albany. That's what all the investigations about Preet Bharara. It's a pay-to-play like scheme. Whether Steve's engaging in that, one has to wonder when a guy says, I run my business, and then in the next sentence he says, I have no decision. Yes, my company gave money to Cuomo, and yes, we have millions in state contracts. But I run a business, but I have nothing to do with it. That was my brother. That's kind of like my dog ate my homework. I mean, we are running for Congress. It's the single most important job in the nation to me.
For the record, we did ask that question. We didn't in this particular interview, but we've asked it twice, and both times we're given an answer.
You've been very good in asking the tough questions on this campaign so far.
I don't know if I'm going to understand this, but I think you might have just given me a compliment.
I give you compliments all the time, Bill.
All right, Assemblywoman. Anything
else? I just gave you one. I said I passed Bill Keeler Debate 101.
This is filled with compliments. I can't even believe it. So at the end of the day, I guess what I would ask is that would really stop a lot of this is if we could in the next 5 or 6 days schedule a debate on this radio station.
But the minute I talked to you about that debate several times, we've talked about it, and Steve. Look, I'm the first one to call for debates. He's now jumping on the bandwagon a little late. Here's the issue. We want to do a debate where we have the most number of people who can watch and also when everyone's available. And as I indicated earlier, we want to have a debate. If there's going to be three of us, let's have a debate with three. If they're not, why have a debate and go through the motions when there are only going to be two of us on the ballot? Let's wait and see. It's not that far off. We only have 6 weeks left. This is going to go like in a blip.
I guess what I'm saying is if we could.
I have no problem. And as you know, this campaign is very large. There's a lot going on. I'm not handling every little bit like who's scheduling the debate. Someone else is handling that.
Right.
But I know that they know I want to do as many debates as possible. I want to get out there and talk about the issues. I want to defend my record of standing against corruption. I want to defend my record about the number of bills that I have passed. My willingness to stand against the corruption and also stand up to people that other people were afraid to stand up to. So, we need to talk about that kind of thing and why I stand for the people, why they've elected me directly. Love to talk about all those great things, and I think we will. And I think Steve's got a lot of explaining to do. I think it's going to be a great debate.
For the record,
you may not want to do 8 in the end.
Yeah. For the record, you can do all the debates you want. Ours is a forum.
Whatever.
And we would love to have it here on the radio, and we're very. But I'm saying if we could schedule it now, and Phillips doesn't make it, he just doesn't show up. At least that would take it out of Stephen Wells' pocket to be able to use against you, saying, "All right, well, we've set up 3 and a forum."
Right. Well, in fairness, Bill, Hannah with an H has been in contact constantly with Andrew, from what I know. Andrew, it's funny, they both went to college together.
They did at Lemoyne.
Hannah with an H.
We call her
so
Hannah.
I know that they've been in contact, so I don't know.
We call her Hannah, not Richard.
Remember, there's your debate, there's WKTV, there's WSYR, there's and I don't even know all the stations in Binghamton. WBNG with Bob Joseph wants to do a debate. The Binghamton TV station wants to do a debate. I mean, everybody wants to do a debate.
Everybody wants to do a debate. They've all copied us here. This is
they
so
did copy
disgusting.
you. Are you a debate? Are you a show? Are you a debate show?
We're a debate
something
station.
you said
Forum,
is you want to do a debate or a forum. You want to do a forum.
Show.
I'd like to do a forum.
Okay,
I
you don't want to
think-
do a debate.
I think a forum is the way to go.
Forum where gladiators are going to come out and battle it out.
Listen, I'll do what the hell you want to do. Whatever
Well,
you want to do, we'll do it.
Well, and I will say this is that
I want to do a motorcycle ride, me and Steve.
All right, let's do it. We will follow along. We'll put mics on you. I'll do whatever. Be as creative as you like. We'll do it. And we'll talk with Hannah, not Richard, about this and set it up.
Hannah with an H.
Hannah
Yes.
with an H. All right.
and just so you know, really, it's up to you to pick the date because Stephen Wells has said that he would clear his schedule. So I'll get with Hannah, and whatever date works,
right.
we'll make that work.
All right, Sound
All right,
Woman.
thank you so much.
Thanks for your
Appreciate
time. Thanks for coming on in response to Stephen Wells.
Yeah, that's and so we got some clarification. She's in, he's in.
Isn't
We're waiting
it
on Philip said he was in.
Yeah, Phillips
But
will
if
do
he's
whatever.
on the ballot or
Problem
off is the
that's what I'm saying. Set it now so that we know what it's going to be. And in fairness, I think that our audience, and by the way, we're on TV as well now, I think that our audience deserves, they heard it here first. We asked for it here first. And to think that you're not getting a large audience is just foolish thinking. And by the way, the TV signal goes down into Oneana. It goes all over the place as well. So we're expanded into areas that we never were before. So I'm all in. Andrew?
on a forum now.
Listen, I'll do the motorcycle rider.
Right.
I don't know what the
You'll
hell
do
that
anything.
is, but I'll do it.
I just think we should.
Forum, debate. How do you want to do it? I think that's what's got to be worked out
Again.
between Andrew and Hannah with an
Okay.
H.
Okay.
Okay. Andrew?
Yep.
You want to add anything? You're on this.
I have been.
All of the pressure is on you to make this
Oh,
happen.
no pressure. No pressure. So I just got to get the date from Hannah with
Oh,
an H.
no. There's a lot of pressure. A lot of it. I do have some birthdays here. Can I squeeze them in because we've gone long here? Casey Stevens in Utica, happy birthday. John Davis in Fonda, happy birthday, John. Happy belated birthday to Michael Elliott. Michael, happy birthday. And the cake goes to Casey Stevens. Casey Stevens celebrating today in Utica gets a cake from the legendary Florentine Pastry Shop on Bleecker Street in Utica. You can get a birthday on air by going to our news site at WIBX950.com. You can also join the VIP club. And you can send it in on a postcard. WIBX birthdays, 9418 River Road, Marcy, 13403, 740. And we'll break and come right back at WIBX.